guys bana.
Guys bana.
Utakuwa hizi Korea. Kidogo
Hatukanyagi. Hatukanyagi.
No, nataka unipatie hata space kidogo. Kidogo.
Wewe angalia screen.
Haya sawa. Nimesikia mkubwa.
Sawa.
Bro, mweke bro. Wapi nani yako?
Pasha madota.
Kuna
Ora pause mia.
Natumia kamera yako iko hewani. Natumia kamera yako na kusoma bado nataka kwa hadi kamera hadi hala ali حد ما يصير hala hata kusoma lakini utakuwa baadaye tumalize job bora upate within 2 days, no? Within 2 days tunataka sio? Mheshimiwa Katra Iman. Jina kubwa. Jina kubwa. Ali Abdul Allah bakari bibi bishia. Mbona mshina kata Quran kani? غرفته روح بس حتى الطاقة باش نقولها
Siweke silent kidogo. Nataka picha? Kuna jamaa anapiga.
Kwa vizile wa video.
Ama utaweka kwa lakini tunapata kidogo alafu. Wewe somewhat. Okay, kuja nikutumie hata zaidi. Abdullah sikiti.
Wait.
Order. Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the officers of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, welfare of our country and those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. You may sit. You may sit.
Order number 5. Order number 5. Election of the Deputy Speaker.
Speech go back.
Honorable members, before we embark on the next task, which is the election of the Deputy Speaker, allow me to read my acceptance speech. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Members of the County Assembly of Garissa, the clerk of this County Assembly, Your Excellencies, representatives of the political parties present, members of the ulama, members of staff, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First, I thank Allah the Almighty for this great opportunity. Honorable members, I also want to thank you profoundly for your decision to elect me as the Speaker of the County Assembly of Garissa. Thank you for your trusting me, and I promise not to disappoint you in discharging the constitutional mandate of this honorable House. The confidence and trust you have shown in me cannot be gainsaid. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate all the elected members and nominated members of the County Assembly, Hongera, for the spirited effort and for selling your manifestos to the electorate and finally being elected to this honorable House. I have to thank the clerk of this assembly for professionally guiding this House during the ongoing transition period. There is no doubt whatsoever that a lot of effort has been put towards making this historic day a success. I cannot ignore the reflections of the hard work put in by all the stakeholders, especially the members of the County Assembly, members of the staff of the County Assembly. Honorable members, on the 8th of August 2022, the voice of about 200,000 registered voters in Garissa County was quite loud and clear that they have entrusted you, honorable members, to be their representatives in this honorable House for the next 5 years. The legislative oversight and representation mandate must be upheld as enshrined in our Constitution. The principle of separation of powers as domiciled in our Constitution also remains central in good governance so as to effectively discharge our mandate. Leadership is an integral part of life of a human being, and it's about trust as clearly explained in our holy book, the Holy Quran. If you look at chapter 4, verse 58 of the Holy Quran, Surah An-Nisa, verily, Allah commands that you should render back the trust to those to whom they are due, and that you judge, and that when you judge between men, you judge with justice. Verily, how excellent is the teaching which Allah gives you. Truly, Allah is all hearer, all seer. End of the quote. Similarly, in an authentic hadith narrated by Al-Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ said, of all of you are shepherds, and each of you will be asked concerning his flocks. And as an institution with a heavy responsibility on its shoulder, we need to remain united and one in the delivery of the mandate of this house. Our unity is only to serve the people of this great county. As Abraham Lincoln said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Moving on, allow me to recognize Honorable Muhammad Abdi Farah of the Dab Ward, who returns to this August House for a third consecutive term. I also wish to recognize and compliment Honorable Adou Omar of Lukok Ward and Honorable Isa Abdi of Sabena Ward, Honorable Mahat Abdul Qadir of Modogash, Honorable Mustafa Abdul Rashid of Iftin, Honorable Muhammad Hussein of Township for their second term as ward representatives. Honorable members, I also need to recognize the trust given to 7 members who are nominated for the second term. Honorable Maria Mohammed, Honorable Qadra Iman, Honorable Halima Hussein Gure, Honorable Adou, Honorable Ayan Mohammed, Honorable Fatuma Shidiye, Honorable Hamdi Ahmed, for gaining the trust of their parties to be nominated back to this house for the second term. At this juncture, allow me to remember one of our colleagues, Honorable Gedi Adou, who is also back to this house for the second term, but is currently not with us due to health reasons and is currently in a hospital, in our prayers. At this juncture, I beg, since we all share the same faith, us to read one Fatiha for him for his quick recovery and lasting health. Please, 1 minute to read the Quran. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, ghayra al-maghdubi alayhim wa ad-dallin. May Allah give him and grant him quick shifa and lasting health. I trust that those who have been mandated or given the trust to come back, that I trust these experienced members I have mentioned here will be able to mentor the upcoming MCS. For us all, it is a unique opportunity to serve this dear county. I look forward to maximizing the opportunities of every honorable member to contribute. I believe that I have been placed on this platform so that I am able to catch the eye of every member. I therefore pledge to be fair to all and seek your understanding in advance for every ruling that the chair will make, as provided for by the standing orders in this house. Honorable members, this is a house of rules and procedures. I need to call upon all of us to familiarize ourselves with all the standing orders and other procedures, especially for the new entrants. The highly procedural nature of the county assemblies calls for a commensurate high level of commitment to the rules and procedures of this institution. Honorable members, in exercise of the powers conferred by Article 124 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya and Section 14 of the County Government Act 17 of 2012, the First Assembly of Garissa County by resolution adopted the standing orders that we have been provided with. I encourage all of us to internalize the standing orders and make a personal commitment to always abide by them. Prepare and present issues of interest to the county as guided by the rules and regulations. Honorable members, every one of us in this honorable house, as provided for Article 177 of the Constitution of Kenya, under my leadership, this chamber will develop systems and values of high discipline, tolerance, accommodation, honesty, and openness. To the majority, as you are aware, we have an assembly that is heavily dominated by you. I caution the majority, however, that there is need to be guided by high ethical consideration so that we do not relapse into a trait of tyranny of majority. To those who may feel that they belong to the minority, even though most parliamentary businesses is organized on majoritarian principle, your rights of minority to transparent, open, frank, and fair, honest discussion and business will be upheld. As the legislative arm of the county government, we will be expected to offer the requisite inspiration, guidance, and confidence. Therefore, it's our duty to conduct ourselves with decorum, consistently observe the due processes, and uphold the rule of law, legality, and the culture of constitutionalism. Allow me, honorable members, to note, like in the previous assembly, we do not have elected female members. This is quite sad. I am deeply concerned about this tragedy. There is no real cause for rejoicing at that because it is a clear indication that our county is behind the world of affirmative action. Even as we agree that the affirmative action law is one of ways of using the law as an instrument of social engineering and mischief correction to ensure equality, our democratic development is not impressive at all in this regard. Nonetheless, I particularly want to acknowledge and applaud all those female nominated members. I look forward. I wish God's blessing as you undertake your new mandate. I look forward to enriching the discourse. I look forward to you enriching the discourse and output of this third house. A question worth asking is, what do the people expect of the MCS? The people out there. There is growing evidence that public opinion is divided on the role of the MCS in Kenya. A significant majority of Kenyans are of the view that MCS should undertake development projects within their wards. To others, MCS exist to pay fees, give funeral donations, and attend meetings and start weddings and social events. Of concern is that debating, passing legislations, and holding the county executive arm of government to account rank low in the public perception of the role of the MCS. This account for the high attrition rate of MCS across the country. In addition, I welcome the media for documenting and bringing or airing issues debated on the floor of the House and in the committees to create awareness, especially of the agendas before the House at any given sitting. On that note, honorable members, and as you assemble here today, it's important to have a discourse on the reestablishment of the county assembly with a sense of history. I hasten to urge you to exercise high levels of integrity as you play your oversight role. Further, I look forward to a house that will enact laws that are constitutional and that will stand the test of time. Undoubtedly, promotion of good governance will require an assembly that will effectively perform the three cardinal functions of representation, oversight, regarding the executive and lawmaking. As for the budget making, your ability to control public expenditure within the regulations of the Public Finance Management Act, PFM, will be good service to our people. Honorable members, the key challenges of Garissa County remain poverty, unemployment, poor road infrastructure, access to poor healthcare, water shortage, and lack of enough rural polytechnics. Others include lack of postmodern early childhood development centers, unutilized cultural, trade and tourism diversity, and lack of health facilities, among others. Allow me to remind you that the Kenyan Vision 2030, which is the country's development blueprint, aims at transforming Kenya into a new industrializing middle-income country, providing high quality of life. We have an obligation, therefore, to ensure that we make a contribution to this particular vision, especially in realizing the potential to promote growth and development at the world levels and to steer our rural economies. Allow me to submit the rulings of the speakers in the past will be captured to serve as guidance and precedents for the smooth operation of the House, because institutions grow scientifically, systematically, and with responsibility. Nevertheless, a huge task still remains ahead, and I trust we shall rise to the occasion. Honorable members, the capacity of and scope of the committees of the Assembly deserve attention. They are the petri dish of this Assembly. Should the committees be weak, this Assembly will seriously be dented. Not only should our committees be sharp in their routine tasks, but also they should be vibrant and exercise singular initiatives in inquiring into all matters of public interest impartially. This inquisitorial power must be applied to its logical conclusion. Through the committees, I welcome all the members to act within the law, proactively, responsively, and with appropriate capacity on all the devolved functions, namely issues relating to health, ECD, polytechnics, education, agriculture, access roads, tourism, revenue collections, cooperatives, forestry, trade, among others. Invitations or summons to appear before the committee or the committees will not be ignored under my leadership. I pledge to see to it that the committees are fully equipped to perform and produce desirable results without fear or favor. In conclusion, this county assembly is for the people of Garissa. We have to be honest, accountable, and responsive to the needs of our people. In order to improve efficiency and transparency in the operations of this honorable house, the leaders of the second assembly saw the need to refurbish the precincts of this assembly. We surely applaud them for that. We are true to the fact that there is need for a modern chamber, committee rooms, libraries, among other essential structures that will create a parliamentary environment that is accessible, secure, and transparent. I urge for your patience and understanding as that exercise is still ongoing. Going forward, I believe that together with the County Assemblies Forum, CAF, the Council of Governors, COG, and the societies of clerks at the table, SOCAT, we will unite in seeking the needed assistance for MCS to especially improve their working conditions and welfare. We should seriously better the lot of our MCS. Honorable members, you enjoy immunity while on the floor of this house and amass privileges which cannot be toyed with by any person, anybody, or any authority. I shall help to maintain this without fail. But allow me to quote our forefathers who asserted that to whom much is given, much is expected. This dictum must guide us all because privileges come with responsibilities. If you abuse the trust, there will be consequences. A lawmaker cannot be a lawbreaker. For example, charges of corruption and abuse of office have been witnessed in the past against individuals in our country. That is why at this earliest opportunity, I really appeal and caution you against such vices. If you fall foul of the law, the set-aside institutions mandated with tackling such issues will not be expected to spare anyone. Our attitude will reflect our end results. For instance, our punctuality and attendance to the business of this house will be critical towards realizing our overall objective. Indeed, as I said earlier, it's our duty to conduct ourselves with integrity, decorum, consistently observe the due process, uphold the rule of law, legality, and the culture of constitutionalism. On my part, honorable members, I pledge to respect and uphold the rule of law and nurture the culture of constitutionalism with us. Make all judgments in tandem with our standing orders and always safeguard the role of the Assembly as an arm of the county government. Honorable members, let us resolve to do something different in the lifetime of this third house. I urge for cooperation from all and sundry and make our stewardship a success. Thank you, members. God bless you. God bless our county. God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Order number 5, election of the Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Procedure to be followed in election of the Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, I have a communication to make regarding the procedure to be followed in the election of the Deputy Speaker. Procedurally, the Speaker shall preside over the election of the Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, Article 178(1) of the Constitution provides that each county assembly shall have a Speaker elected by the county assembly from among persons who are not members of the assembly. Further, Article 178(2)(b) provides that in the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker shall preside over a sitting of the county assembly. Pursuant to Article 9A, Article 9A(2) of the County Government Amended Act. Honorable Hajir, you have a point of order granted.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on my own violation, I have decided to withdraw formally from the race for Deputy Speaker of the County Assembly of Garissa County. And I informally take that to the clerk for that withdrawal.
Thank you. Well, that's noted. Pursuant to Section 9A, subsection 2 of the County Government Act, Amended Act of 2012, that there shall be a Deputy Speaker for each county assembly who shall be elected by the county assembly in accordance with the standing orders of the respective county assembly from among members of that county assembly. Further, Section 11A, subsection 1A of the County Government Amended Act 2012, as read together with Part 3 of the County Assembly Standing Orders, provides for the office of the Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, the office of the Deputy Speaker became vacant at the commencement of today's sitting at 9 a.m. in the morning, being the first sitting of the new assembly after an election. Honorable members, Standing Order 14.1 states that as soon as practicable, after the election of a speaker following a general election, a deputy speaker shall be elected in accordance with Article 178(2)(b) of the Constitution. Most importantly, honorable members, Standing Order 14.4, in terms of elections for the said office, provides that the procedure for electing a deputy speaker shall, with necessary modifications, be the same as prescribed for the election of the speaker. This means that we will be making reference to Standing Orders 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Accordingly, honorable members, in exercise of the powers conferred by Standing Order number 5, nomination of candidates, the clerk notified the membership of a vacancy in the office of the Deputy Speaker of the Garissa County Assembly via Gazette Notice number 11060. In the notice, the clerk invited interested persons who qualified to be elected as Deputy Speaker of Garissa County Assembly in accordance with the Constitution to submit their nomination papers for election as the Deputy Speaker of Garissa County Assembly. Honorable members, the following candidates collected nomination papers from the office of the clerk of Garissa County Assembly, namely, Honorable Qatra Iman Sigat, Honorable Mustafa Abdul Rashid Mohammed, Honorable Hassan Omar Abdi, Honorable Hassan Dahir Nur, Honorable Omar Abdi Hassan. Honorable members, as per the notice, the persons who collected nomination papers were required to submit the completed papers together with their curriculum vitae, CV, and relevant supporting documents to the office of the clerk of the county assembly not later than 9 a.m. on Sunday, 18 September 2022. Honorable members, at the close of the nomination period, the following members submitted their nomination papers to the office of the clerk for election as the Deputy Speaker of Garissa County Assembly. Honorable members, I'm made to understand there were some amendments. The following candidates collected nomination papers. However, as I mentioned, 2 of the members have withdrawn even before submission or after submission. Honorable, therefore, those whose nominations are with us today are Honorable Mustafa Abdul Rashid Mohammed, Honorable Hassan Abdi Omar, Honorable Hassan Dahir Nur, and Honorable Omar Abdi Hassan. Honorable members, as per the notice, the persons who collected the nomination papers were required to submit the completed papers together with their curriculum vitae, CV, and relevant supporting documents to the office of the clerk of the county assembly not later than 9 a.m. on Sunday, 18 September 2022. Honorable members, at the close of the nomination period, the following members submitted their nomination papers to the office of the clerk for election as the Deputy Speaker of Garissa County. Members who submitted are Honorable Mustafa Abdul Rashid Mohammed, Honorable Hassan Omar Abdi, Honorable Hassan Dahir Nur. Those were the members who have submitted their nomination. Order. Honorable members, considering the fact that the procedure for electing a deputy speaker shall with necessary modifications be the same as that prescribed for the election of the speaker. Firstly, honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Article 193 of the Constitution and Standing Order 5.2 of the County Assembly Standing Orders, all the candidates who completed and submitted their nomination papers qualified as candidates for election as the Deputy Speaker of the County Assembly. Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 8, number 8, a candidate may, by written notice to the clerk, withdraw his or her candidature before a ballot is started. And in this regard, I wish to draw to your attention that, honorable members, that on Tuesday, 20th September 2022, by a letter referenced GCA Honorable Volume 1 stroke 2022 stroke 01 dated 20th September 2022 to the clerk of the Assembly, Honorable Katra Iman Sigat withdrew her candidature for the position of Deputy Speaker of Garissa County Assembly, and her name will accordingly not be appearing on the ballot paper. Secondly, honorable members, standing orders require that the clerk shall maintain a register in which shall be shown the date and time when each candidate's nomination papers were received. I hereby confirm that a register has been maintained in accordance with the requirement of said standing order. Thirdly, honorable members, standing order number 5, subsection 5 requires that immediately upon the close of nomination period provided for in paragraph 2, the clerk shall publicize and make available to all members a list showing all qualified candidates, and be available to all members copies of the curriculum vitae of the qualified candidates. Honorable members, I hereby confirm that a list showing all qualified candidates was publicized and was made available to all members. I further confirm that the clerk made available to all members a list with extracts of the curriculum vitae of the qualified candidates. Honorable members, standing order number 6, subsection 1, provides that the election of the Deputy Speaker shall be by secret ballot. Specifically, standing order number 6.2 provides that the clerk shall, at the commencement of each ballot, cause the ballot box empty and unlocked to be displayed to the County Assembly, and shall, in the presence of the County Assembly, lock the box, which shall thereafter be kept in the full view of the County Assembly until the conclusion of the ballot. Honorable members, standing order 6.3 requires that the clerk shall issue not more than one ballot paper to each member who comes to the table to obtain it, and each member who wishes to vote shall proceed to a booth or designated area provided by the clerk for the purpose and for that purpose, and located next to and within reasonable distance of the ballot box, and shall, while there, mark the ballot paper by placing a mark in the space against the name of the candidate for whom the member wishes to vote. Fold the marked ballot paper before leaving the booth or area, and place the folded ballot paper in the ballot box. To facilitate this process, the name of each member shall be called out, following which the member shall come to the table directly in front of the clerks at the table and obtain a ballot paper. Honorable members, each shall then proceed to the polling booth, which is clearly displayed, and while there, mark. Honorable members, standing order 6, number 4, provides that a member who before the conclusion of a ballot has marked a paper in an error, may by returning it to the clerk, obtain another in its place, and the clerk shall immediately cancel and destroy the paper, or destroy the paper so returned. Honorable members, when it appears that the clerk, when it appears to the clerk that all members who are present and who wish to vote have placed their ballot papers in the ballot box, the clerk shall the clerk shall unlock the box and examine the ballot papers, and having rejected those unmarked or rejected, report the results of the ballot, and no member who has not already recorded his or her vote shall be entitled to do so after the clerk has unlocked the ballot box. Standing Order 6.7 provides that a ballot paper is rejected if, in the clerk's opinion, it does not identify the candidate purported to be selected by the member voting. The clerk shall declare a ballot paper to be invalid in the presence of and after inspection by the members representing each of the candidates in the election. The counting of the ballots shall take place in the presence of all members and members appointed as agents or representatives by the candidate. So, I will shortly ask for the agents of the candidates to come forward. Please be upstanding. Mustafa Abdul Rashid is represented by Honorable Adan Duro. Thank you. Honorable Hamdi represents Omar Abdi. Honorable Omar Abdi. Who is the agent for Honorable Hassan Dahir Nur? Honorable Abu Bakr Sugaw will represent Honorable Hassan Nur. Honorable members, in line with the requirement of Standing Order 7.1, a person shall not be elected as a deputy speaker unless he or she is supported in a ballot by the votes of 2/3 of all members, 32 members in our case. If no candidate is supported by the votes of 2/3 of all members, the candidate or candidates who received the highest number of votes in the first ballot and the candidate or candidates who in that ballot received the next highest number of votes shall alone stand for election in a further ballot, and the candidate who receives the highest number of votes in the further ballot shall be elected deputy speaker, and I will declare so. Honorable members, I wish to remind the assembly that the voting exercise we are about to undertake is by secret ballot as earlier communicated. Accordingly, members are not allowed to display their marked ballot papers to the assembly, the galleries, or any other person. Members of the media are also reminded to observe Rule 3C of the Assembly Broadcasting Rules in the first schedule, which provides that, I quote, wide-angle slots of the chamber shall be used during voting and division, and no shot shall be taken so as to show the manner in which a member has voted in any secret ballot, end of quote. Honorable members, we have arranged the voting booths on my extreme left. Yes, on my extreme left. We are now ready to commence the voting process. But before we start, may the agents or the representatives of the candidates please come forth. We have already identified you. Having explained the voting procedure, honorable members, I now direct the Sergeant at Arms to open the ballot box and display it to the assembly. Honorable Hassan Dahir, you have a point of order? I'll grant it.
Mr. Speaker, sir, some members within the assembly are asking me why my name, Hassan Gili, is not in the ballot. Probably that was a brand name outside. I want to put, for point of clarification, that my names in the ballot is Hassan Dahir Noor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also wish to congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Hassan. So can you display the ballot box? Open, display that it's empty. Okay. Honorable members, we have all witnessed for ourselves that the ballot boxes or the ballot box is empty. In which case, I now direct the Sergeant at Arms to close it and seal it. At this point, I would like to direct that the applicants or the candidates to excuse the house, maybe exit the house. Thank you. We are now ready to vote. Honorable members, we are now ready to vote. I direct the clerks at the table to call out the names.
Hon Mehdi Abdo, nominated MCA. Hon Marian Muhammad Hassan, nominated MCA. Hon Muhammad Abdi Farah, MCA Dadaab. Hon Omar Ado Said, MCA Holugo. Hon Ayan Dahir Weirah, nominated MCA. Hon Faduma Muhammad Shide, nominated MCA. Hon Halima Hussein Gore, nominated MCA. Hon Hamdi Ahmed Ali, nominated MCA. هون حسين محمد دغاني MCA Township. هون عيسى آذن عبدي MCA سابينا. هون قطرة إيمان سيغت nominated MCA. هون مهد عبد القادر إبراهيم MCA مندوغاشي. هون دغو محمد دعالة nominated MCA. هون نور شيخ فارح MCA جرجلة. هون عبدي إبراهيم دابر MCA بالامبلا. هون محي الدين عبدي MCA سانغايلو. هون عبد الغيوم سوغو نورو MCA بناني. هون عبد الرحمن محمد علي MCA سانكوري. هون عبد الرحمن محمد MCA إجارة. هون عبد الولي آذن عبد الله MCA ساكا. Hon Abdullahi Ibrahim Sigat, MCA Nanigi. Hon Abubakar Haji Sugo, MCA Wabari. Hon Abubakar Muhammad Khalif, MCA Galbet. Hon Adan Hussein Odoa, MCA Dertu.